Hello everyone, thanks for dropping by. You all know who that is on the screen, and yes, she does have good genes. You notice she also doesn't have any body piercings or tattoos, and that's her natural coloured hair. And if you notice there, she's got no tan lines, so I should think that's Sydney in a private location, sunbathe in the nude. Would I go with her if I was as rich as I've mentioned on previous videos? Not really. Not unless I was at least 40 years younger than what I am, because a 68-year-old multi-billionaire with a 27-year-old woman that looks like that would look even creepy to me. So unless I was as wealthy as I said and as young as she is, then nah, it's pointless. Never mind. I hope she finds somebody who's suitable for her, but whoever she does get will be a lot taller than her, because as I've mentioned on similar videos to this, women always generally prefer guys who are taller than them, sometimes much taller than them. But anyway, enough about Sydney. As you know, women can be quite devious and cunning, especially American women. But it's not just American women who are like that, because there's an article going around the news feed which is quite interesting, namely this. As you can see, it's Microsoft's news, and this was a offshoot from the Daily Star. And as you can read, woman who married 8 men and scammed them out of thousands arrested on hunt for 9th. That's the lady in question. This is done in India, and all these men were Muslim men. As you can read, a woman's been labelled a serial wedding scammer after she allegedly dumped several men over the past 15 years, targeting wealthy married men to line her pockets. The alleged scammer is accused of stealing a massive £43,000, well, it's a lot in that part of the world, from one of her numerous old flames during a 15-year-long scamming spree. She alleged to have married 8 men and swindled them out of likas or rupees. Has been arrested by police. Fatima reported on the hunt for the next victim and was in the process of meeting a potential 9th when she was apprehended. And then now it explains what it was. Police believe Fatima was allegedly conned several men at about 15 years, blah blah blah, targeted affluent married men from the Muslim community. One of her former husbands has claimed she managed to swindle £43,000 from him. Another claimed she stole £12,900 from him via cash and bank transfers. And she also successfully extorted money from senior officers of the Reserve Bank. She, who's also a teacher by profession, was finally arrested at a tea shop in Magpur on July the 29th. That's a province of India. Now, this is an Indian news site. 9th time the charm, claimed woman marries 8 men for money, caught while seeking new partner. This is more or less a repeat of the other article. The same news source. A woman accused of marrying multiple men under false pretenses, extorted large sum of money, was arrested in Magpur. Authorities say the accused identified as her in July and by profession and yada yada yada. And finally, this is the Times of India. Now that goes into more detail. She's 35, so she's... Get rid of that. She's 35, so she's post-war. And 15 years ago, so 30. She started when she was 20 years old doing this scamming career. Now this is how she did it. She would target already married men of a particular community, presenting herself as a widowed school teacher seeking companionship. In other words, a well-rehearsed sob story. After gaining sympathy, she would push for a registered marriage. She got the hooks in him. Soon after tying the knot and married, she would begin mentally harassing the husbands. In other words, she becomes as Sandman said, a Nagasaurus, secretly recording the conversations and later using edited voice clips to create misunderstandings. In several cases, she filed complaints of adultery. She accused the guy of cheating and harassment against them. In other words, he was being brutal towards her. Then came the extortion. She offered she's going to retract the case, but I need some money. And the guy wanting to get off the hook, he says, okay. She gets divorced and moves on to the next one in this manner. She allegedly extorted from each man and then moves on to the next one. And modus operandi was calculated as it was cunning. She would target already married men. In other words, she was a serial adulterer of a particular community on social media or matrimonial sites. In other words, the Indian version of dating sites. Presenting herself as a widow school teacher seeking emotional companionship, and yada yada yada. She already began mentally harassing the husband, secretly recording, coercing them to speak ill about others, and later use edited video clips. She was a nasty piece of work, in other words. And her last husband, Gulam Pathan, who had married her in 22, filed a FIR, whatever that is, against her in 2024. Only married for 2 years. I've taken a whatever amount that is from him and filing false complaints to evade arrest. She'd taken refuge in Madasa and Manjapur, Moninpura, that's another province of India, alleged to help with the whatever named Imran. Then the cops zeroed in down on her and she was arrested. She was 7 months pregnant and got admitted to the hospital, was transferred later to a private hospital from where she vanished. In other words, she did a runner. And then she already had a 12-year-old child and was recently delivered another baby whose paternal remains unclear. She could have got rid of the baby. That makes her a murderer. She is currently in custody and an infant child remains with her for now. And then we got the comments. She married, grave mistake not fleeing to Bengal. She had no problem. She enjoyed 8 men and to quench her thirst, thirst for money. Now the only thing that's happened in this, now you've got 8 Muslim men in India who are going to become 8 Indian MGTOW Muslim men, because they don't want to go through all that again, and they've seen how cunning women can be. Let it be a lesson to them that women cannot be trusted. As it says in the X-Men, never trust a beautiful woman if she shows interest in you. So any plain-looking guys see the beautiful woman's interest in them. What's the deal? What's the catch? Hopefully these men have learnt a lesson in life, and the next time they'll be more careful. Now going back to America, Trump's been stirring up the pot. As I found this, Fact Check Hub, Trump has not signed an executive order altering divorce laws in America. This was done on 2nd of February 2025. It says, claim that Trump has signed an executive order altering divorce laws in America has gone viral online. The claim was attributed to Trump, stating that marriage should not make one partner entitled to half his or her spouse's wealth after a divorce. Emphasized that marrying a wealthy man should not automatically result in financial gain for a woman following separation. And this is the statement from Trump, allegedly, I should imagine. He says, just because you get married to a rich man doesn't mean you have to get half his wealth and end up rich after divorce. According to Trump, divorce has become a very lucrative business for women in America, and I'm going to put an end to it. If a woman marries a rich man, it doesn't mean she gets to leave as a rich woman after divorce. If upon divorce the woman needs money, the man can borrow her a maximum of $1 million if she has a collateral. $1 million isn't a lot of money for a rich man, but it should be a lot for a woman because she didn't work for it. If I'm worth $50 million, I'm not going to give you $25 million after divorce. It's my money, and I work very hard for it. I don't care if we've been married for 6 years or even 25, or even have children. If you don't have enough money to take care of the children, leave them with me. Now that is a poke at the Roman divorce laws. In ancient Rome, the children stayed with the biological father, if he is the biological father, and any property that the woman has, she keeps. But the children always stay with the father. I think that just because somebody marries somebody that built something huge doesn't necessarily mean that just because they get a divorce they should end up like the Queen of Sheba. Now that's what Trump allegedly said. He said, on assumption of his office, Donald Trump signed a series of executive orders to address key policy areas. This includes declaring a national emergency, ending government censorship and speech, and blah, blah, blah. Now, the fact check, it says it didn't happen. This was just a rumor on social media, but on this side of the pond, taking a step back and looking at it with a logical MGTOW eye, maybe Trump did say he was going to do it just to see what the reaction would be. So you could say that ending the divorce laws in America, where the woman gets half of everything, even if they've only been married a short period, is on his mind to put a stop to it. Because you've all seen what happens in America when that happens, and that's the reason why a lot of American men are not wanting to get married or even get into a relationship, because they've seen what happens to people that they know. And the verdict claimed that Trump has signed an executive order altering divorce laws is false. This does not include among the other orders signed by Trump in the Oval Office. So, as I said, he probably just mentioned it to put it out there like a fishing test to see what the reaction would be. Now, Trump has also done another thing. This is fact check. I should imagine it's similar to that. Trump has not changed US divorce laws to ban 50% property share. Now, this is just a repeat. The other thing that Trump has put out, debunking rumour Trump's new law automatically marries an unwed couples after 5 years. So if you've been with a woman for 5 years, you're automatically registered as being married to her. And then the next day, she can put in divorce law and grab half of your stuff. So it says, claim Trump has signed an effective law 1st of August 2025, which makes couples who be in a relationship for 5 years automatically legally married. And that's false. I should imagine that that's another little thing that Trump just put out into the public sphere just to see what the reaction was. Doesn't say that he's not going to do it, because it's probably on his mind to do it, but he just didn't want to go all in, sign an executive order, but he just wanted to see what the reaction would be. As for women, I've not been able to find anything that American women are doing this type of thing, but obviously with this and this, it seems that the authorities have seen how the state of America is, and they're going to try and do something about it. As where's the other thing? Sorry about this, people. Must be in this one. Ah, yes, in this one. How property is distributed under the current American divorce laws. If a divorcing couple is unable to agree on how marital property generally includes real estate and property assets purchased by the couple while married is disputed, a judge will divide the property according to the rules that vary between American states. Most states follow the equitable distribution rule. That means upon divorce all marital property is divided by what a court decides is a fair allocation rather than necessary equality. Factors that might be considered include the length of the marriage, the value of the marital property, each spouse's contribution to the marital property, and the economic circumstances of each spouse upon the division of property among others. Now, there's only 9 states that do 50-50, and this one, it says 9 states known as community property states. The exact rules that these states vary, but generally speaking, property acquired by both during the marriage is usually split equally, i.e. 50-50, though not in all states. The community property states where things get split 50-50 are Arizona, California, Idaho, Louisiana, New Mexico, Nevada, Texas, Washington, and Wisconsin. So if you're an American living in any of those states, then if you're in a relationship or even married, then watch out, because if you get divorced, she's going to have half your stuff. So I would imagine that MGTOW is pretty solid and growing in all those states just mentioned. And it says in all cases, a judge ultimately proves how property is being divided according to that state's laws. So if it's a woman judge, then the guy is essentially screwed, because no doubt she'll more often than not go on the woman's side. And then there's a bit more and that's it. But it seems women are getting more cunning, and she started when she was 20 and it's a 15-year career. American women might have read this and think, I'll try that myself. So I'll have a look around, see if this story transfers over to America and women are trying this scam. But as for Trump, as I said, he's probably done some fishing and just put things out just to see what the effect would be. He's not stupid. He might act it at times, but he's not a stupid man. You don't become a stupid man and get where he's gone in life. So I should say he's got the divorce laws on his mind, because he's seen the effect of Americans and on American men, and the 50-50 share, and he's also just put that out just to see what the effect was. I think I'm on the 20 minutes now. I'll try and keep this short, 15-20 minutes max, but that's it for this one. You know the routine, people. Like, dislike, etc. It's completely up to you. So until next Monday, that's it from me. Bye-bye.